Sir Alex Ferguson signed me for the club when I was 14 years old. I went up for trial from Cambridge, had a week up at Man United. By the time I got home on the train, he'd phoned my mum up to ask her if her permission for me to sign as a 14-year-old boy, which obviously to hear that's incredible. It weren't just me that he'd do that for. He'd do it for every player that he wanted to sign. When I went up, when I was a first team player at Carrington, I'd be in the canteen and there'd be under 11, under 12 academy boys there, and the manager would come in and he'd know every single one of their names. He'd know every single one of their parents' names, know a little detail about them to make them feel special and part of the club. He used to treat the dinner ladies and the kit men just as well as he'd treat Roy Keane or Ryan Giggs. He had an incredible way of building relationships with everyone to make you want to run an extra yard, to work harder than you thought you could do, because it was him asking you to do it. If you got praise off the manager, it was, I can't even begin to explain how that felt. The hairs on the back of your neck stand up, because it was the best feeling in the world, because you'd do anything for him because he wanted you at his football club. Yeah. When there's people speak about the hairdryer treatment, and obviously when he shouts at you, it's scary because he can be a scary man, but the worst feeling in the world was letting him down. That was his football club and you were honoured to be part of it, and he had every single member of staff, like not just the players, everyone pulling in the same direction, which made that club so successful. In terms of Roy Keane, when I come back from Antwerp and had my first sessions with the first team, went out and trained. Obviously at Antwerp, the standards weren't quite as high as they were at Man United, and I gave the ball away and I got the biggest telling off I've ever had, and I was thinking, oh my God, I ain't sure about this. But then in the dressing room after, he spoke to me and told me why he'd done it, because that's what it's like here, that's what it's going to be like, and you need to deal with that. As well as that, I didn't drive at the time. He'd come and pick me up, he'd do anything he could to help the players, because he was in charge of the dressing room where Sir Alex was in charge of the team, and he was an amazing captain who'd do all he could to help you, which the best captains do. Don't get me wrong, me and a few of the young lads, we used to have little small-sided games, and we used to hope and pray we weren't in Keane's team, because he knew if you were, you had to be on it. And if you lost, he wouldn't speak to you for a week on a training pitch. But they were both two of the, like, couldn't speak any more highly of them, because they are amazing people.